Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Fiddler from CZT Lara Williams. So today is Thursday, at least the day of this recording, and that means it's Tangle Time Day, and so we had a lot of fun playing with this tangle in our two Tangle Time sessions. All right, it starts off with kind of a curlicue or like a bit of printemps going into somewhat of an S shape. Now you can do this either way you want, other direction. I'm going to just start here and like so. Actually, I put a little bit more curve in it than, well, I don't know. It's kind of fun with an extra curve. All right, then we're going to essentially aura this, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to start my aura up here, and I know in the recommendations, let's see, and then I'm going to do it out this way. In Lara's directions, which I was looking at the pictures more than I was reading anything, it did say have the bottom be a little wider than the top. I don't know, mine is the opposite way, so it all works out. Okay. Once you have this, now this, I extended this up a little bit. I could have just stopped right here, but I was enjoying putting it up a little bit. Take a look at Lara's step out and pictures, and that link is in the description section. And so the other thing that I missed was the fact that she put to do figure eights here. So once you have this done, well, let me just do one and show you. Because to me, I'm not reading, I was just looking at the pictures and that was it. I was like, oh, well, it looks like, if you're a seasoned tangler, it looks like a flux shape, right? But if you do this, like as I just did, and then continue on the other side and make like a figure eight. And so somebody on the call had mentioned it, and I thought, well, I don't know. And then I went back and looked, like, oh, look at it, says it right there. It was my Brian. So Brian, if you watch this, thank you for giving that suggestion. I don't know if you had just thought of it or if you actually went and read it, but either way, it does make it a little bit easier. But it is up to you. So you could just do shapes like this, or continue them around. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue this all the way up. Now the tricky part is managing, the curves. And so that's where I kind of, hesitate a little bit, but you can play with it with making one side, well, if I only could make one side thicker and one side thinner. But, at one point, or at any point, you could, well, I wanted those to be touching. It is nice to have them touch. If they miss, oh well, right? It's all okay. It's just a matter of going slow. Mine are turning out more orb-ish. Okay. So then as I'm getting to the top of this, let's do one more. All right. Then I'm just going to do the one side like this. And right here, all these last couple, and it was only because I wasn't being careful. Oh, you know what? Let me do this from the other direction. Sometimes, if we get good at doing shapes one direction, and it's just kind of good to figure that out and stick with it. There we go. So I'm going to continue these, you could call it like a flux shape or a teardrop shape or a tethered orb shape. Being tethered meaning it's, we start here, we're making the orb, but we're coming back to that point. Because what I noticed on the step out was, so we're gonna come around here to here, and then I noticed that Lara had, then large ones. So at some point here, we'll go back to having large ones, and then we'll come back in. So that's where it just gets a little tricky, is doing the inside. funny. And of course, I will share some samples with you here from today's work. And if you are interested, number one, in seeing all of the lovely work that happened during today's sessions, do go to my website. Link is in the description section, tangleaddicts.com. And where it says on the right-hand side, follow me. And when I send out the post, which I call it the recap for the Tangle, then you'll get that and you'll see all of the lovely work that everyone did. Lots of really, really cool ideas for how else you could do this. And like I said, just a whole lot of fun. And, let's see, I'm going to continue actually, because I think I want to do the large ones maybe coming where this ends. So I'm going to just do a few more. Back to back. And you know what, too? If you would like to join us for a live class, we would love to have you. We have a lot of fun. And, well, when I get the post done, you will see, because I will have a link to, I feel like I want to do some more here. And this is where you play and figure it out. But anyway, so we have a lot of fun. Would love to have you. And let's see. I'm going to do like that. Okay, then, because if I was coming around here, then here we'll just start with a big one. There we go. And finish it up. Like so. It's just neat looking, isn't it? All right, then the next steps are just filling in the background. So all of the little gaps. I'm running it off of the page here. And I will probably pause it shortly. I was just thinking, I was going to, well, I don't know if I finished my thought. Well, it'll come back to me. But yes, we would love to have you join us for Tangle Time. That is a free session. I do it every week, two times on Thursdays. I'm in Michigan, so it's Eastern time. Actually, our time is going to be changing, so it's Eastern daylight savings, or I don't know. I always forget which we're on, but at the moment, but it's Michigan time. And actually, when you I was thinking, if you end up following me on, I have some links there. So in the classes section on my website, where if you want to follow me, that way you see when I post something new, you can. And usually, as long as technology is working right, either like on Eventbrite or meetup.com, because that's where I post, as well as on Facebook. If you click that you're wanting to go, then it will put it in your time zone. And I think even when you look at it, it'll put it in your time zone, so you don't have to translate it. Just on my site, then you would have to translate it. So, and that's just the word that I decided to use. Convert, that's the right word. Convert, translate, it's similar. But would love to have you join us. We do have a lot of fun. And I also do, while I'm filling this in, and that way I will do my best to remember I'm doing this now and not do it at the end. And if you enjoy those, the free classes, I do also ones that have a fee. And I have a fee, or if you are a member of, I have a Tangle Addicts membership club that right now, and it's going to be ending soon. I haven't put a date on it. I'm going to give at least a month's notice before I cancel, or before the special ends, where you can be a founding member. I should just make it a year, because that's about what it's been going on. Anyway, for $15 a month for this introductory price, you get everything. All of the paid content is all included, all access. So if that's something that's interesting to you, that also helps to support these free classes that I do as well. So I really appreciate my supporting members of the Tangle Addicts Club, because really I like to think everybody is really part of the club, but I have to find some extra terms for that. So so as you can see, filling in the background, let me add a couple other tidbits about filling in. While it is tedious, now I like tedious, and we were joking on the calls today because Mom, he's like, oh, this is almost as bad as Knight's Bridge, because there's a lot of filling in there. And we're all different, and it's all fine. But one thing to think about is, especially if you're using Zentangle for its meditative or mindfulness exercise qualities, this is a great tangle for that, because number one, highly repetitive, right? And then two, all of this fill in, you just get to focus on the pen and what the pen is doing and how the ink is coming out of the pen, and just being careful. And and then when you get to the end, you have to figure out a little bit how you want to do it, but it's just a really, really nice tangle that has a neat look to it, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So if you're using Zentangle for that quality, this is a perfect tangle for you. And I will say, also a little teaser if you follow the blog. So I'm filling in all of the background. We had some that didn't fill in the background, but filled in all of the leaf or petal type shapes. And we had a lot of really neat creativity going on. So that's what's so fun, is just to see what everybody does. The only thing that we have in common on that Tangle Time is we're all looking at the same tangle, and I will generally show, well, depending on what amount of art is supplied from the originator of the tangle, because I will show that, and then it's just kind of up to us and our creativity, and it's really, really fun to see what everybody does and the directions that everybody goes. And like I said, just a really, really fun creative time. All right, well, I'm almost done with this, as I have been yapping while I'm doing it, but I got all of that out, and that's good. It's actually probably good for me to do that sometimes during versus at the end, so that way maybe you hear it if you haven't before. The spiel, if you will. Okay. And yeah, and when you get down into this little center, it's almost like you could just put your pen down and let the ink get soaked into the paper. And then sometimes you really need to have a magnifying glass. But you see how that makes it pop. It's almost like when we do the tangle tipple, or we just put orbs in a tangle, and I will always, I say always, generally fill those in. This is it. Plain and simple. And I'm going to leave this one just as it is, because I don't believe that Lara had put shading in, and you can shade it a bunch of ways, but I think I want to leave this one as it is, just because it is neat looking that way. And I will show you some of the things that the two tiles that I did this morning and this evening. So this one is on a Zendala. This is a 2x2 bijou tile, by the way. This is a Zendala. This is supposed to be a dark green with some 2 shades of lighter green. Now this, what I decided to do was to put some graphite. Actually, my first thought was, and I did put it in the center. So, and because there's so much ink, I basically just put it in the open spaces, in the white spaces there, and then just with the tortillon. Oh, sure. was thinking, oh, well, fix this one up a little bit. Just did like this a little bit. And I wasn't real careful. Some of it I scribbled over a little bit like this, just to get it in. Don't have to be careful when you're going over the black, but if you're using Zentangle tiles or which is a cotton paper, you have to be careful, especially if it's probably better to wait till it dries a little bit, because sometimes we can pick up the paper and stuff along with it, and it kind of tears it up a little bit, even being really, really light. So that's what I did, was put some graphite, like I said, around on the inside, and then decided to do some on the outside as well. And so that gives it this neat rounded look. And let's see, I didn't do it on the outside here, just on the inside, and just on the inside here, and you can kind of see the difference. And that's why I like having this just being plain, no shading. You see some shading. And then I decided to work on a Renaissance tile this evening, and I did the shading similarly, but because I was working on a Renaissance tile, I could use the white graphite, the white charcoal pencil. I treat it like graphite, and was able to add some really, really nice highlights in there, and so that really makes it look shiny and rounded at the same time. And then I added some pink in the background, and we like I said, had a really, really fun time and with this tangle. So this one, background still coming, but like I said, really, really neat tangle, lots of fun. And I have to move the camera back in order to get them all to fit in there. Oh, there we go, a little montage. So if you enjoyed the video, would love to have a thumbs up or a like. Feel free to share it with your friends. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. And of course, that is free. I already mentioned all of the stuff that's in the description section, so I will not repeat myself, but I will say thanks for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.